The recording started back.
Bet. All right, y'all. So we are recording this. Yeah, Breeze. It's gonna be recorded. It's gonna be up on our private YouTube channel. I think it's on a private channel, right? I
The
believe it's on a private.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah. So the way you guys can access the link in the Discord community, if you guys are new here, you'll see it under live recordings. So we'll post it there, and you'll have access to review these, and also all the ton of we did a ton of different Q&As, so you can look at those as well. Um, Uh, Jackie, just send me a DM and I'll send it to you. Um, but yeah, y'all, I'm AP for everybody. Like new people come from the TikTok. Everybody else in the chat pretty much know me. Today is a bit different because we're really focusing on giving you a clear direction. Pretty much giving y'all a game on like how to get into cybersecurity, how to get into identity access management. And then from there we're gonna open it up for questions. But for right now, can y'all put a one in the chat for if you're new here? I want to see if anybody's new here. Whether you just came in from the TikTok. I know I asked this earlier, but if you're new here from the chat, put a one in the chat. So we got one, two people, three people, four people. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. So Higgs, how you want to do this? You just want to get right into it, or you want to do a demo later?
yeah. Let's get straight into it.
All right, bet. All right, y'all. So the core three things, and this is for not just the new people. This is for people that are on their journey, currently searching for jobs, feel like they're confident to interview, right? And may feel a bit lost and not confident. We're trying to get back to the basics because there's a lot of information out there. You may be seeking a lot of information, and it kind of messes up your mental. Because if you don't have one clear direction, one clear plan, it can really mess you up. If y'all don't know, it took me 10 months to get in my first cyber role because I was taking everybody advice. I was doing everything right. And that's not to say that a lot of people don't have good advice, but like it kind of steers you different ways because there's a thousand different ways to do one thing, if that makes sense. So you kind of just have to lock in on one path, lock in on whether your resume is good, be confident in that resume, right? And then go in that direction. But the core three things we're talking about today is building the right skills. The second pillar we're talking about is your resume, LinkedIn, and your personal brand. And then the third pillar would be interview skills, which is arguably the most important. So, first and foremost, Inks, building the right skills. We express this all the time. We talk about IAM Academy. What is the core skills and what should you focus on for building the right skills?
Building right skills, I would say for IAM specifically would be one access. I feel like RBAC would be huge. Role based access control and attribute based access control is probably two really big pillars as well as least privilege. Those two always go hand in hand because at the end of the day, your job is to provide access to your company, but not provide more access than needed. You only want to provide the bare minimum of what they need to complete the job function, right? So those two, I would say, are super big. You want to add any onto those?
Yeah, so understanding Active Directory, um, A or AD, like he said, role-based access controls, attribute access controls are the core building blocks of IAM. So of course, getting busy in your Entra ID is free. You can sign up today. Get busy in the Entra environment. Um, from there, I mean, focusing on hands-on practice. So getting busy in a lab environment, doing your projects, not just watching videos or learning theoretical concepts, but actually getting dirty, getting your hands dirty. People will say they did it, but a lot of times they don't even do the labs. They do one lab and don't do it. But like you'll be surprised. You'll surprise yourself after doing a few labs and getting through those labs of how much you learn. Um, Now the other pillar I had right is certifications. So myself and Inksman, we're kind of in agreements with this where we like one vendor specific certification and then one broad certification. So could you list out the top two certifications for anybody that's new into getting into cybersecurity?
Yeah, so two certs that I would recommend every beginner get. Start off with the Sec Plus. It's a really good cert. A lot of people say they think they need an A plus, Network plus, all that stuff, but the Sec Plus is literally all you need as a generalized cert because it's on every job application. Every single one, their credentials will be required or a certification requirement is going to be Sec Plus on there. So I'll say Sec Plus, and then for IAM specific vendor certs, you'd have to pick between which vendor you're going to be using, which vendor you want to specialize in. So, like for instance, SailPoint is a really good one. AP works with SailPoint, but it's harder to get into because you have to be sponsored to get into it, or your company has to already use it. But that's a really good cert. Okta is a really good cert. Certified Professional is really good. What else is really good? I have a CyberArk cert. CyberArk is really good too as well. Very good for PAM. You want to add any on to those?
I would assume you mentioned SC300, right? Yeah, I believe he did. He mention SC300? I believe he
I
mentioned
did say.
SC300. But yeah,
I
I
didn't say
mean those are
anything.
like the main certs.
SC300 is
Like,
really good too.
pick a vendor, like whether that be Okta or Entra. I recommend Entra because it's like cheap and then also it's really respected at the same time. So I think it's the best bang for your buck. But yeah, one vendor specific certification. So working with the platforms, one that you'll be working with the platform, and then another would be like a security plus. I think, boom, that's all you need. Um, do you need absolutely need certifications? I recommend them, but you don't absolutely need them. Um, if you really that dude, that girl, it can really tuck your stuff in an interview. Shoot, go for it. So I'm gonna put those certs in the chat. All right. So the second pillar, and we're gonna try to get through these fast so we can get to these questions. The second pillar. Hold on, let me pull this up. The second pillar, right? So the first pillar we covered is building the right skills. So like actually another skill I want to bring up was like single sign on, bit of automation, right? So look into that too, but I'm gonna leave it at that. So the second pillar is um, your resume, your LinkedIn, and your personal brand. So your resume, right? And I'm gonna give you some game. The resume should show results and not just responsibilities of the job. It may sound similar, but results being what exactly did you do and what impact did you make? So if you've um, automated something in your environment, or if you've onboarded applications and then scaled that to automate the joiner mover lever process, then that's what your bullet point should say. So not just responsibilities, but results. Did you have anything to put onto that?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again? It was kind of breaking up for me.
Um, now I was just talking about like resume, like your resume,
Mm-hmm.
like showing results on your
Oh,
resume,
showing.
key
Oh, okay.
KPIs, metrics,
Mm-hmm.
what you actually did in a role, and like just if you had anything to put on, like as far as like a resume.
Resume, I would try to put skills. I would say skills put at the top. I like putting my skills to start off. Skills and my tools that I have familiar with. I like to put those at the top. Yeah, so skills, then certs probably, and then right after that projects, because that the first two are gonna be a small portion. It's just gonna be a small like two probably lines um, of bullet points of which skills you have. You know, RBAC, ABAC, least privilege, like you said, Active Directory, and then going into certs, putting in how many certs you have, and then also doing after that projects, like you said, which is basically your work experience if you're coming from zero. So projects, having like at least having advanced level projects is really good for it as well.
Yep. And then also like another aspect of this, right? So we talked about resume, right? And we help out resumes and stuff like that, but we also help with LinkedIn. So transitioning into LinkedIn though, um, some key things you want to do to keep your LinkedIn profile in the algorithm is to just comment on somebody post, follow and connect with a lot of people in the IM industry. I tell people this all the time, and they still don't do it. Is connect with people like IM managers. Just type in IM manager, IM director, or IM engineer, IM analyst. Connect with them, and then like you'll already be an algorithm, and then like comment on people posts and stuff like that. That keeps you an algorithm. That's why I'm able to get reached out so many times. And if you're in the community, I've referred about 2 people already within the last week um, to jobs. So it's like I'm giving them out because like I'm not in the market to get a job right now. Um, but like you can get outreach just like that as well. Um, so that's a key thing to do as well. Another thing for LinkedIn, I mean, I'm a fan of having a good headshot photo, right? The basics. Um, I've seen somebody that had like Naruto in their background photo, and I'm like, I'm not mad at it, but I'm mad at it because it's like just keep it professional. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my opinion. Now personal brand is really good too. I don't think you have to be Simone Bees or be this big tech influencer. Um, but sharing your projects, especially for the people that's new here, like the projects you've seen maybe in IM Academy, doing those projects and displaying them is really good. And people interact with it, and then hire managers can look at that and be like, "Oh my, I saw your project." Or if nobody ever sees it, so what? I've been in interviews and I say, "Yeah, I've done projects," and I list them on my LinkedIn. And then the hire manager come back and be like, "Oh, really?" And then the next final round interview, I brought it up. I was like, "Hey," or actually no, they brought it up. They were like, "Hey, yeah, I looked at your project. Can you explain a bit more about your project and what you encountered?" And I explained that, and they were impressed. So like you just have to use little things like that to get leverage. So you can bring up stuff, right? Don't let because your post on LinkedIn got 1 like, 1 or 2 likes, oh nobody saw it. Somebody will see it or make them see it. So that's a couple good things as well. What do you think about that, Hinks?
Nah, I think you hit it. Hold on. I think you hit it right on the head right there, Loki. I ain't even gonna lie. Giving out super sauce.
Facts.
If you guys are learning stuff in the chat, man, type one, bro. Let's get active. Let's get active. Shout out to everybody coming in live. We got 26 people in here. I appreciate everyone.
That's what's
Facts,
up. All
facts.
right,
Appreciate it.
cool.
Appreciate it.
Cool. All right, so let's move along. We're gonna get into these questions soon, y'all. Um, all right. So the third pillar that we're focusing on today is interview skills. So when it comes to interviewing, it's a core skill, right? You need your skills, you need the good resume and LinkedIn. But once you got, you know, clarity of identity access management, you understand it, you're confident, then you got your resume, you got your LinkedIn, cool, right? You can do that in a couple months. Now, the interview section is kind of tricky. It has a bit of nuance, but it's fairly simple, but you just got to work at it. Excuse me. Um, so when it comes to interview skills, you have to be able to explain what you've learned and how you provided value in a confident way. So, simply put, explain what you've done in your own projects, your own labs, whether that be an IM Academy or whatever, in simple terms. Because if you can explain concepts in simple terms, you understand it. Like if you leave the interview and they're confused and don't understand, it's like I don't know about this guy. But if you can clearly give them insight into what you've done and what the value you bring, you're a gold mine. The second thing of that is to just simply practice technical and behavioral interview questions. Myself, I have a lot of experience interviewing. Hanksman has experience interviewing. We have dedicated questions. where you can drill in and pretty much drill yourself with questions to be best prepared for the interview. A lot of people don't do that. I think it's worth it. But that's a key component of really mastering and getting good at interviews. And then also just throwing yourself in the water too. It's kind of like your first time swimming. I mean, you're not gonna learn how to swim until you just get in the water, right? So when interviewing, just go interview. Like every last single interview I've done, I didn't feel prepared. No matter how much I prepared, I didn't feel 1,000% confident. But I did it nervous. I did it scared. I did it anyway, and I lived with the results. And then eventually, I gained confidence. Another example. I know I'm rambling. I'm gonna let Hinksman take over. But another example. If Steph Curry would have never woke up and start shooting the basketball, would he be considered one of the greatest shooters ever? Probably not, right? You just got to put in repetition.
Yeah,
That's what it comes down to.
facts. And AP is really just like he's trying to drill in this topic because you're gonna have to get reps. Like he says, you don't become a professional basketball player not taking shots. You're gonna miss more shots than you make, but you just need to make one shot. Simple as that. You literally only need to hit on one interview to get an offer, and then to get that offer to change your life. So it's
Yep.
literally
Yep.
that.
I mean, shoot, there's been times like players like you ever been to pick up a game or like watching NBA, like they had a terrible game and they go 1 for 11, but that last shot they took, they hit it for the game. Nobody remember all the shots you missed. So that's what it takes. So yeah, those are the three concepts, y'all. So we kind of went over building the right skills, getting your resume, LinkedIn, personal brand together, and then interview skills. So we're gonna answer questions, right? Um, based on those core three building blocks. We're gonna give y'all a chance to ask those questions and go a bit more in depth if you would like us to. There should be a hand like signal at the bottom of the Discord, and that's how you come up and ask questions. But other than that, you can just type your questions in the chat if you're not
Yeah, we'll
able
answer them
to
in there too.
ask like on a call.
We is 25 minutes in. Do we want to start answering a couple questions? We got two questions in here so far. If you guys got questions, type them in the chat. I
Yeah,
see.
I'm gonna invite somebody on to speak,
Bet.
or yeah, but we can answer questions in the chat first if you want. All right, somebody asked, where and how would you post your projects? I'm just
Yeah,
starting out.
somebody asked that. Yeah.
Your resume, and LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn, or you can start a GitHub account, whichever way. But those are the two main ones: is LinkedIn and your GitHub. I would say.
Hmm. All right, y'all. We got
Um,
two speakers in here, but yeah, give us a second, y'all. We're gonna answer these
okay.
questions in the chat. Then we gonna get to y'all.
You want
How do you explain your experience if you're new to the field?
projects. That's what the projects are for. The projects are in you being able to complete access requests, you being able to complete privileged identity management in projects. Those things are things that you display out as your experience because you have done them. So that's how you demonstrate experience without having a role.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people like downplay like their
Yeah,
experience.
like
No,
I tell
you've
people
done
all the
it.
time, our main thing: don't disqualify yourself. You do not need to be the one saying you don't know how to do something. You don't need to disqualify yourself because at the end of the day, they have to tell you no. You know.
Facts. Facts. If you can do it, you can do it. Simple as that. Um,
We got two people in here. K Pro is in here first. K Pro, if you want to come in and ask another question, I know we got one of yours.
Yeah, man.
Welcome, welcome. How
Hey,
you
how
doing?
y'all doing today? I'm
Good,
good. I'm
good,
good.
brother. Good, brother.
I'm chilling.
Pleasure
So,
to meet you.
pleasure to meet you guys too. I saw you guys on TikTok. Yeah, I've been in a very rough spot recently. So, I actually just graduated with a degree, a bachelor's degree in cyber, in December. I'm currently still working. I work at a big company, but I work in the financial sector right now. I'm not in the tech space yet. I do have internship experience, but it's not with identity access management. It's with cloud security. I worked with Amazon Web Service and Linux and stuff like that. Python. So I did more of the cloud engineering space. But I'm in the middle of, you know, identity and cloud security, but I don't know which one to choose. And I'm leaning more into the cloud security, but I'm hearing like you guys say, there's a lot of people going around telling you a lot of things where, you know, IAM is coming into play, where it's starting to be recognized as growing, and cloud security has been there for a while, but it's also a very big place to be in. So I just want a little bit of advice if you guys have any, if I should continue to work with cloud since I already had experience in it, or you know, if I do end up going with the identity um path, is would that also be, a good path to get into?
What are you looking for? What are you looking for out of branching out and doing other stuff? Because honestly, it sounds like you're getting shiny object syndrome, and you see like this other new thing that's kind of like hip and like pushing now, but you're already in a cybersecurity world. Do you feel like cloud not fulfilling what you need out of cybersecurity right now, or?
No, it's not that. So the thing with everything that I have is I haven't gotten any certifications yet. I'm working on project, but that's I where my eyes of
It's cutting out, brother.
Yeah, you cut out. Can y'all hear him?
Based off what you were saying though, if you don't have any certs or everything and you already have your bachelor's, the main thing you need to focus on is project and certs.
you know
You
what I
already
mean, like yeah, go ahead.
Nah, yeah, you saying so you got a job out of college. You're currently in a
No, no,
role.
no. So I don't have a tech job out
Oh,
of
okay, okay, okay,
college.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So I'm working. I worked with the financial sector,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not in the tech space yet. I'm
Got you.
I'm on the finance space.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Right, right.
Trying to push to get into tech
I'm pushing
from
into getting
finance.
tech.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I'm honestly is you're gonna have to weigh the pros and cons out yourself. You know what I mean? And I'm only saying that because you already work in the financial sector. Anything you do in cyber is gonna be less hours than you're doing in the financial sector for sure. Um, but what I would say is focus on when you do pick, focus on getting only certs that are required for your role that you're like you need to have a focused role which you want to target and
Mhm.
focus on getting certs for that and then focus on projects for that. And it's easy to and I think feel like you're in a good position because you're already in the finance and you're already in finance. So getting into fintech isn't going to be hard for you because if they have roles for your company and you have the skills and you have the projects and you already have a cyber degree,
Right,
it's kind of like you'd have to be first up pro bono. Like, you'd have to be first up.
right.
What do you think, AP? Am I missing something on that?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like you hit it right in the head. I don't have much to add to that. I mean, like, other than like just figuring out exactly what you want to do. Like, that's what it comes down to. Is what I'm
You
here
just
to
gonna
keep
have
it
to make a
very
decision.
basic.
Yeah, you just gonna have to make a
Right.
decision. Honestly, just pick one path. I don't know if you got to throw it. If you're gonna, which flip a coin, whatever it is, you just gotta pick one and
Yeah.
just stay on it. Like you gotta stay on that
Right.
path. Do not try to go cloud and then do IAM. Don't try to go IAM and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
do
of
cloud
course.
because you're not gonna get either. It's very, you know what I
Exactly.
mean. The people that are trying to get roles are trying to get roles for that specific job. If you're giving a half effort to people giving full effort, you're not gonna be. They're gonna be taking food off your plate. So that's the only thing
Right, right, right.
honestly I say for you though. Okay.
All right.
Facts, facts.
Sounds good, man.
Nah, yeah, for sure. Appreciate you for sliding on. Jess, we're gonna get you on here next.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yep, appreciate it.
Hey guys, nice meeting you. Just like Kipro, I came across you guys' TikTok video not too long ago today, and it caught my interest because I'm also interested in getting into tech. But not too much about me. Just want to go into the questions because I know there's a time crunch for this. But basically, I'm trying to expand. Also a beginner. Working on projects myself. My dad is actually a network engineer, so between you guys and him, that's where I get my information. I also come from a finance background, but tech is where it interests me the best. And that's where I've been keeping my focus for a couple years. But One question, as far as the GitHub, and just elaborating on the question that I put in the chat, is when it comes to displaying the projects. I know you put it on your resume and your LinkedIn profile, but when it comes to displaying those projects outside of GitHub, is there any other place that we should be projecting them so that way like recruiters can see or go in and look at it, like places?
Besides
Yeah,
LinkedIn, what you think, AP? I mean, honestly, LinkedIn is where they're gonna go first. They're not gonna go to your GitHub first. They're gonna check on your profile. Then they're gonna check your CV. So honestly, I would say your CV needs to be up to date, of course, with all your projects that you have done or at least upcoming gonna be done. Have that ready, because those are the first two places they check is your LinkedIn and then probably your CV. What do you think, AP? Is there?
I literally was about to say the same thing. Like,
Okay.
yeah, LinkedIn is priority, and then like I mentioned this earlier, like LinkedIn's priority. So post it on LinkedIn, even if you get 0 likes or you don't get a lot of people to see it. You'd be surprised somebody might have seen it, and then also it's there displayed. So when you get into the interview, mention it and have them go look at it. That's what I did, and then they came back the next round of the interview and said, "Hey, I was impressed by that. Can you explain it?" And then you explain it, and you naturally have something to talk about. Um, and you've done the project, hopefully, so it just makes it that much easier.
Yeah, I'm well versed in Red Hat Linux, so I know about a lot about like coding and stuff. I also did website development when I was in high school as a kid with my church, so I have that background as well. And those are the two spaces where it piqued my interest. Plus, I like playing video games too, so that's where it all started. But when you guys say CV, just to get some clarification, what are you guys referencing?
Resume. Resume. Your
I
resume is your
gotcha.
CV. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then when it comes to just breaking down the projects, are we basically like making a typed out post, screenshots, or are we actually like recording ourselves do the project itself?
I mean, if you can record yourself doing a project and maybe throwing it on like times two speed, and if it fits in their, their media, whatever their media size is, then do that. I haven't really seen that much, so that would be something different. I'm not gonna lie. Um, just throwing like a little speed run video of you doing your project and then explaining it on LinkedIn actually would be some. That'd actually be fire. That's a great idea. Um, regular post is fine too. But yeah, I
Okay,
mean, you do want to stand out. So if you did a video, you definitely stand out. I'm not gonna lie.
gotcha. Yeah. I posted some content when it came to my PC. I accidentally broke it by installing like what is it called? Just basically software on my PC when it comes to emulating games and stuff like that. And there was like some corrupted files. So I shut the whole thing down. And I spent 2 days trying to figure it out, which I did within 48 hours, which is pretty dope. But I'm not going to break it again. I have several other type of like computers that I can tamper with. But I'm about to start getting into VMs again. I did that with Red Hat, and I really liked it. So I'm going to start breaking stuff and refixing it while recording it, and then figuring out where I need to post that content so I can gain some traction.
Nah, yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
That's
for
just
great.
sure, it's a great idea. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I just think, like, I always ask this question, very cliche, very vague, but like, what actually not vague, wrong word, but like, what exactly do you want to do? And I think that's something you should ask yourself, right? Be specific in the job market. Is all I have to say.
that's true. But honestly, I feel like there's so many different sectors within information technology or even cybersecurity for that matter for me to identify where it is that I want to go when it comes to direction. I've been trying to identify that, but there's so much information, good and bad, like wrong and right, factual and not factual, actually. So the first step that when it comes to me thinking about the building blocks, where should I start? I was thinking about building the projects, documenting it, figuring out how I can utilize my soft skills and transferring that to get me the foot in the door when it comes to either like help desk or an entry level job. But so far, based off of the content that I've seen and people that I've spoke with, you can build with nothing and get so far regardless of where you're going. So I think that is a great question that I have to definitely revisit.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because that'll 1,000% work if your goal is to get into an entry level role and get your foot in the door. That work, like you're doing everything perfectly. You're a great example for that, especially when you're trying to get your foot in the door for like a help desk role, IT support, those entry level roles. But when it comes to cybersecurity specific, it is a
Yeah.
1,000% specific to your niche. Because if I'm a really good in the SOC and I go interview for our identity access management role, it's not really you have transferable skills, but you really can't speak the language of identity access management engineer if that makes sense.
Yeah, it
But
does.
at least for right now, you're doing everything right, and you're kind of on target.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, let's see. Oh, the second question that I had, this is the last question, basically. Do you guys have any free resources or any references to some resources where we can find out some projects to work in or work on and expand?
Yeah, so we have free. So we have a cybersecurity Discord roadmap in the chat. So if you look through the community,
I'm gonna start
you'll
here.
see a tab that says.
Start here. Under
So we
the
have you.
mhm.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, yeah, yeah. Under the tabs, you'll see we have YouTube videos, we have learning material, we have past live recordings, as well as whenever somebody comes into the Discord, and they're confused on where to start at, or how to uh, how to start their journey into getting into cybersecurity, we always like to say to go to the start here. It lists how me and AP got our start in the industry and like what we did to find projects and get all of free curated knowledge is all under that start here. But YouTube, just to like cut it cleanly, it's YouTube, Reddit, GitHub repositories. All of those are really good resources and really good free
Okay.
resources too.
Yeah. And we also have paid stuff too. That's really good. Like IAM Academy, I demoed that a little bit. It's also paid if you're specifically trying to learn identity.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much. It was a great opportunity speaking with you, and I will go ahead and I guess mute myself. Or you guys can kick me out. This is the first time being on
Nah, you good.
Discord like this.
You good. You good.
Yeah,
All right, perfect. Nice meeting you, Bree. Reese. Hold it. Hold on
I
one
think
second.
she.
Jess. I'm sorry. I tweaked.
Yeah, Jess.
Let's see. We got another one from Queenie. Queenie said, "I've been a legit. Been getting a lot of recruiters on LinkedIn. Like a lot. I don't respond normally because I don't know anything about governance. I am pretty high clearance, but keep hounding governance. But they keep hounding governance. What can I do to get experience with the governance? I have Sec Plus, Octa Pro, getting Octa Admin at the end of the month, SC 300 in August. Honestly, you already have enough certs. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Having a Sec Plus and Octa Pro, getting the Octa Admin probably it would add a little bit more on there. But like you said, you're already being reached out to with recruiters. Like I said, don't disqualify yourself. This right here is you disqualifying yourself. You're saying that because you don't know something to the extent that they want, you're gonna just take that off the table. I say take every interview. Every time a recruiter reaches out, reach back out, or take that call. You're gonna have to weed through some trash, so you're gonna have to read through like the Indian recruiters and all that stuff. But that's stuff you got to deal with, no matter what. What else would you add on to that, AP? I think you just don't disqualify yourself. You don't. I don't think you need to just cert stack. It seems like you're gonna have a bunch of certs, which is cool, and you're already getting reached back to recruiters at this point. Now you just. I think the only thing missing from your formula is the interview process, interviewing, and then making an impression that way. Since you're already getting interview requests, what do you think, AP?
Everything I was gonna say, you said it.
Bet.
We got another question in the chat though. Somebody said, "I'm in enterprise IT, need something new. I have Security Plus. What do you think?" I actually talked about this earlier. So you did Security Plus. That was part of the roadmap. In Security Plus, you learned a lot about different areas of tech. Pick one, go hard in that specific area, get the skills, draft out your resume specific to that, draft out your LinkedIn specific to that, interview specific to that. Simple process. Um, Now we got another question in the chat. I recently started. Wait, did we? No, we answered Queenie, right? You answered Queenie, right, Inks?
Yeah, we got Queenie. Fancy, I believe,
Did
is
we
next
answer
one.
Fancy P?
Nah, we haven't. You can go ahead with that one.
I don't think we did.
Nah, we have an answer with that. My fault. We have an answer. We did Queenie. We didn't answer Fancy P. If you want to do that one.
Okay, I was making sure. All right. Uh, so they said I recently started as an IT work study on campus, learning networking from fundamentals and studying for Network Plus. I'm wondering how I should structure my path. I've been interested in cloud and learned about IAM from a viral video from Simone Bees and Kyle. Is it possible? I watched that video too.
I'm gonna let you
Um,
take this one. I didn't see the video. I apologize.
I'm trying to dissect your question because it's a lot. It's pretty loaded. So you're learning network fundamentals. That's great. 100% is great. You're studying for network plus. Okay. So you going hard on networking. Okay, great. Um, the way you should structure your path is pretty much how we kind of explained earlier. Like the core building blocks. So from earlier, we explained the core building blocks is learning specific skills for your niche. So it sounds like you learned a lot of networking up front. If you want to work in networking, shoot, work in networking. But if you want to go specific to IM, learn specific skills in IM. We mentioned those a little bit earlier. If you want to reference this live recording that we're doing now, we'll post a video. You can go back and watch that. We also have our free roadmap that talks about this as well. Um, but I think that's kind of it's no crazy rigmarole. Like it's pretty simple process. You just have to be persistent in that process. That's all. But yeah, hopefully that answered the question. We're about to, I believe we're about to stop the call here in a few minutes. But if we have anybody else that wants to come on, ask a question before we stop, or put a question in the chat, let us know. And we'll answer it. Other than that, we should be stopping here pretty soon.
Nah, yeah, for sure. I appreciate
Let's see if
everyone.
we get any more questions.
Nah, yeah, I appreciate everyone. Man, type one in the chat if you learned something for sure. Definitely giving out some sauce. Come on now. Appreciate it, Corey, man. Hey, and also, guys, for the new people here that don't know, Corey got a job in June. He just got it. He's been in his role now. He's trying to get out of probationary period. So he's been, grinding on that, which is solid. But give Corey, man, shout out to Corey. Throw some ones in the chat for Corey too, bro. Latest person, in tech for you to get a role. Come on now.
Facts. Put in that work.
Shout out.
Yeah, we didn't put in hours with Corey. Ain't gonna lie.
Oh God.
Nah, cool dude though, down to earth.
Yeah.
Pleasure working with him.
Yeah. Corey X.
Yeah, went through
Nah,
went through the Tech for You platform. Went through IM Academy, learned the skills. Worked with us directly, damn near every other day, and shoot, it worked out.
Facts. We coming in at that 45-minute mark, man. We finna get up out of here. This is gonna be on. This will be under the live recordings channel in about, I'll say, like 20 minutes. Just let me upload it because I'm gonna upload it straight from here. But yeah, appreciate everyone coming out. AP, any closings?